I created my brand when I was in high school. I was young. My dad actually was talking to me one day in the car, like, you could be a star in the dust. Like, he just said it to me, and that name was just like, I don't know what it was, but like a day later, I'm telling him, like, we gonna run with that Stardust. But as time went on, I started peeping, everything was coming full circle. I started realizing why I named it Star in the Dust, because how I actually feel and how I carry myself. I could be in a room with a millionaire, and I'm gonna still get myself into that room and talk how I talk and be who I am. Or I could be in a room with the person who's the least fortunate, and I'm gonna talk how I talk and be who I am. So I just know myself, and I know who I am, and know how I want to carry myself, and I see myself in the rooms and see myself getting there.
Alright, what's going on?
What's going on, bro?
I'm good.
Working?
Yeah, I'm working, yeah. Tell me, how'd you get to know what Stardust is, when the idea came to you? And when you talk to Judah, what do you see the future of Stardust being?
It's gonna grow. It's gonna go up. I tell him that every time we come in contact, it's gonna go up for sure. Like, he really got, it's his mindset. It's more than just him doing like a clothing line. His mindset really there. Like, he really know where he wanna go. He been making the steps towards it. He been consistent, like I said, and from there I just seen growth.
And what made you believe in it?
Just seeing his consistency, his work ethic is crazy. Like, I saw myself in him a lot, cause like I said, when I started my brand, I was doing the same thing. I was coming here regularly, asking questions, seeing what I could do as far as like my printing, looking at the prices, trying to see basically how I could level up my brand for real. And he was already on it.
And what is the store?
Rollo Vinyl.
What is Rollo Vinyl?
Rollo Vinyl is just like a custom apparel store. We basically work around like brands brands and businesses actually. Printing, logo design, all that type of stuff for real.
And you said this is your brother's store.
Yeah, it's my brother's store.
How did that come to be?
I think he just was printing stuff out his crib at first. At that time I was in college, so I really didn't really know what was going on until I came home. And then I started my brand. I started coming in here, and from there I just started working here. Then I started interacting with more customers, started coming across more customers, and at first it really wasn't me working here. I was just like, bro, let me help you out a little bit. Then when COVID came around, that's when I really locked in.
And why in Germantown? Y'all could have put the store anywhere.
This is neighborhood.
This is neighborhood. What's so significant about this neighborhood?
A lot. He really could tell you better than I can tell you for real. But everything around this, like his community, he really got a big impact on his community for real.
It sounds like he has a big impact on you.
Yeah, he do.
What's your brother mean to you?
A lot. Like, he really helped me stay grounded. He helped me become a real entrepreneur for real. Like, at that time when I was coming here, I really wasn't focused. I was getting in trouble. I had some situations with the law. And once I started doing my brand, he really was just motivating me. Like, bro, you really gotta do it. Like, you really got a hot design. Like, your brand really could go somewhere. So once I started working here, it was like, it just started going from there. So me being in here and interacting with customers and other people that got brands, that really helped me lock in with myself. Like, really just helped me realize, like, all right, look, I really could take this somewhere. So yeah, that was his impact on mine, and I've been consistent ever since.
Now, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Ram. My real name Ramer. I'm really an entrepreneur. I'll try to get my hands tied in with everything, like, when it comes to business. Like, my main focus is my clothing line, Steady Finessing, but I want to do mentorship programs. I want to do real estate eventually. It's a lot of stuff that I just want to lock in with. Anything that's going to be like, that's going to have longevity, you know what I'm saying? So that's really my main focus.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
A lot of interesting stuff in here. So I wanted to ask you, why'd you bring me here?
Because here is a lot of history. You know, it's a lot of history. And then this is my first shop that I'm actually selling my clothes out of. So the history behind it is just, it makes sense to do it here.
How'd you meet the store owner?
Well, one time, 2019, a couple years ago,
yeah.
I was, starting my brand. I was doing a lot of in-house prints with people who were just printing my, my logos on my shirts, and some stuff was good and stuff was peeling off. So, trials and tribulations, you want to look for the next step. So as I was searching, I came across Rollo Vinyl. I DM'd them on Instagram, and that's when the owner hit me back. And we was talking from there. And he helped me actually design my first logo. So I took that to appreciation, because a lot of people, you got to bring your ideas to, like, screen printing already. They be acting like too busy doing things, but he sat down and like really like, yo, we gonna use this instead of that. So from right then, I just knew like it was love.
So I want to ask you, what made you pick up fashion?
Fashion, honestly, I started getting into fashion as I got older. See, growing up, I always wanted to be fashionable, but I didn't really have a lot of like ways to do it, if you know what I mean. So I couldn't go get the best outfit or seeing what I like and go get it. So as I was getting older and I started hustling and I was realizing that I can, as I started reaching out and grabbing other materials and different items, I actually started putting pieces together and seeing it on myself, and I love the growth of it. I love fashion. It's something that a lot of people don't look at as art, but it really is a different type of art in fashion.
And when you decided to start your brand, what is your brand again?
My brand is called Stardust. Now, Stardust is a lot of things, but I decided to run with Stardust and created the brand was established in 2019. Now, it was ons and offs from there because we're in 2023 now, so we came a long way. But from the beginning, I decided, just the motivation behind it. You could take a thought from your brain and bring it to life and then sell it as a product, and you can, necessarily make a great business out of it and see success and to see growth from it.
And who are you designing for?
Designing for a lot of people. That's a great question because that's one of my main goals doing this, to show a lot of people around me, because a lot of people like me, because I'm not no different from nowhere else. Like, we live in Philly. I'm in the trenches. Some neighborhoods is just as bad as anybody else, so I'm not no different. So it just made me realize that if I can do it, a lot of people around me can do it, and it's different. A lot of people not doing what I'm doing, so I actually feel like a star in the dust, growing up. So I just feel like that's gonna rub off on my peers, and they gonna carry how I'm carrying, and we gonna really keep going till we build up to that piece we need to get to.
And what are your goals? Like, what do you see Stardust becoming?
I see Stardust becoming a lot of things. One of the main goals is to be the biggest brand, but besides the brand, just to put awareness and spotlight on a lot of people who don't have that motivation, that push behind them to keep going. And because, situations and unexpected, circumstances that might come across, and people might, want to give up and just not see it through all the way. Because I've been doing it for years. I started in high school. There's no age limit to start. 10th grade, I created the idea. 11th grade, I started doing it. So I just feel like I see it going to many places, all places. It's going to touch a lot of people, for sure.
What is the creative direction behind Stardust?
Just to let my mind roll, to stay calm through it all, to know that this is what I want to do 100%, nothing else. So when you know something 100% that you want to do, it's hard to let anything else distract you or to mess your vision up from it. So I just had to lock in right then and there.
Can we see like jeans? Can we see like sportswear? Like where is it going? What can we expect to see?
Yeah, I'm gonna have all types of versatility. Like, it's gonna be able to, from the basketball players to the businessmen, you know what I'm saying? To everybody, to the youth, to the elders. So it's gonna definitely come along. Like I said, this year is like a different year for me. This actually technically my first drop of the year. So it's a different type of material, a different type of quality. Just expect better quality, more designs, unexpected things. Like yesterday, I just had on some stacked sweatpants, and nobody's seen them yet, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's different. I pop out with some jeans, and people's gonna catch people by surprise. So like I said, a lot of things I was doing right now, I'm not even halfway into the fashion industry yet, I barely say I'm a quarter in. So, cause I just see the vision on it. There's so much stuff you gotta touch on. So everything will be coming, jeans, anything you could think of, sneakers, anything, socks, we gonna touch on everything.
Now, is this something where we can project? We can see you at a New York Fashion Week. We can see you at a Paris Fashion Week.
Sure.
We can see you with some custom designs, some something crazy. Like,
I ain't gonna say too much, but I'm gonna say stay tuned, because we definitely in tune with the fashion weeks and everything that's going on in the world. Yeah. So we gonna touch, like I said, we gonna be a big market. We gonna make this brand turn to something that people gonna look into. Like, it's not gonna be something that's gonna be here and then gone in a few years. Now we gonna be here to stay. Like, as you can tell, we've been here for years already, and we ain't stopping no time soon. So yeah, we gonna touch bases with fashion weeks, everything, designers, different type of designers, photographers, older designers, people who already was doing this before us, people who want to start and don't know where. We gonna be different. We gonna touch everything.
Now, how does your personal fashion style influence the brand?
It's crazy because I'm more like a visionary. So a lot of stuff that I actually have on and I won't even put together in Stardust. I see a lot of different things for my brand than I actually see on me. Like I was just telling my homies and my friends, like sometimes I do it by surprise. I won't even dress in my merch as much as I need to because I'm so focused on how it look on the next person and how the next person gonna take it to where it needs to be. Because I started the brand, but it's other people I know I need to touch with other people to help build it to where it need to be. So yeah, I just focus on, just focus on the other people, see how it looks on them more than me.
Now, if I were to describe you, I'd say you're very humble and you're very unselfish. But you just use another word, visionary.
Yeah.
All these words come into play. What is the one word that would describe you?
Visionary. I don't like to call myself a designer too much because, like I said, we're going to be the biggest brand in the world, but that's not all we're going to touch on. Stardust is a lifestyle, depends where you're coming from, who you are. It's actually more relevant in the world than people actually know. We actually had the same elements as a star, in the world, in our human bodies. So it's very deep. But humble, visionary, definitely the main two things I can say that I carry myself with, and I'm unselfish. Like I like to see all my brothers working, everybody with me working, whoever just look up to what I'm doing to tell them that they can go do it themselves, and we all can just make it to the top and do it. No matter where you from, no matter what you trying to do, we just passing the ball. It's enough room for everybody.
Now you've said we're a star in the dust. We all come from the same thing. Is that where the name come from? Like, what were the name origins? Where you were thinking, yo, this is what I want to be, and this is what I want my brand to be.
So the thing about it is, while I really like my brand, and I was telling my homies again that I'm fitting my brand as the time go on. Because like I said, I created my brand when I was in high school. I was young. My dad actually was talking to me one day in the car, like, you could be a star in the dust. Like, he just said it to me, and that name was just like, I don't know what it was, but like a day later, I'm telling him, like, we're gonna run with that, Stardust. But as time went on, I started peeping, everything was coming full circle. I started realizing why I named it Star in the Dust, because how I actually feel and how I carry myself. I could be in a room with a millionaire, and I'm gonna still get myself into that room and talk how I talk and be who I am. Or I could be in a room with the person who's the least fortunate, and I'm gonna talk how I talk and be who I am. So I just know myself, and I know who I am, and know how I wanna carry myself, and I see myself in the rooms and see myself getting there.
What other brands or designers inspire you?
So growing up, a couple brands I used to look up to that actually helped motivate me to start my brand was a brand called Steady Finessing. Somebody who actually helped me here with Roller Vinyl. He was real heavy when I was in high school with his brand. Another one, Sakasso, rest in peace, Sakasso. He was a designer from West Philly, from West. He passed away, so RIP to him. And Paradox. Growing up, he had the ball, Paradox, and he's still going. So back then, those three brands was the main brands that helped me, like, all right. And I took pieces, I asked all three of them different questions before I even started. So, and that's what kind of put everything to play now where it's at. So those are definitely the three brands that helped inspire me, in Philly, for sure.
And did they inspire you design-wise, or did they inspire you strategy-wise?
I wouldn't say design-wise, but I would definitely say strategy-wise. Like, the best leader is also a good follower, a good listener. You gotta pay attention. Nobody is gonna grow in the world if you can't listen and hear and see and take advice without like, oh, I know that. Who wanna hear I know that all the time? Yeah. So you gotta listen. You gotta actually, besides listening, you gotta apply it. So if you're not applying it, listening, it's not gonna help either way. So it's a lot of steps to everything, because after each step, it's another one. And if you don't take the next step, the plan not gonna see all the way through.
Now, what's the strategy behind your brand? Because this whole week you've been planning for this Friday release, and you've been heavy on it. So what's the strategy behind it?
For sure. So like I said, technically this is really my first drop. I've been doing all custom orders all year. So I know coming into last year, I was doing drops back to back, pop-up shops everywhere. I was working real hard, putting my money into a lot of situations and just going full throttle. And that was because 2021, I had took a lot of time off. I didn't do anything too much for my brand for 2021. So that whole year, 2022, I just felt like I had to go hard. So that's what I did. So this year, I just wanted to take it a little different and strategize my drops to have more quality customers and have more pieces going at a certain time. Because when you move in, this is what a lot of people who doing brands now. When you move in and you just putting out product and stuff, sometimes people will get to it, but that might be over a month, might be over 2 weeks. You might not see that full profit until 2 months, 3 months down the line. And we all know by then, unexpected things happen. You gotta spend your money on this. You might have to look out for this. So instead of me just going through all that, I just wanted everything to come in as a bomb. I planned this, photo shoot this, put this out this time we're gonna do that, and have a date set so when the date here, it be rolling, you know what I'm saying? It's no like, next week next week we on to the next drop, you know? Or we promoting some more. Yeah. So we never really just trying to waste nothing. You don't want nothing to get overlooked. So that's my whole plan. I didn't want this drop to get overlooked. I didn't want to feel like I was getting overlooked. I wanted to take my time. And I feel like, 23rd was a perfect day. I had the 23rd date locked in for about 2 months before. So this is definitely something that wasn't new. Like, it was definitely really strategized and planned.
And what's so significant about Philly to you?
It's where I'm from. Philly is beautiful because it's beautiful in the struggle. Like when you really come from that struggle and come from a different type of neighborhood, it just pull a different hustle out of you. You can't let it soak you in, I lost a lot of people this year and just growing up in Philly. That opened my eyes right then and there. And that's another reason why I go so hard. Because you never know for how life play out. So Philly, that's the beauty in it. Just the struggle and to see the hustle come out. And then at every storm, there's sun. So you gotta keep going till you see that sun.
That's beautiful.
For sure.
Halftime.
You're
doing well.
We appreciate it. Yeah. How I sound? I sound good?
You're good.
Right, cool.
What do you think, G's?
How I sound?
Yeah.
How I sound, Ren?
It was cooking.
It was cooking.
Decent?